Hello viewers, and welcome back to Allayi on Endless. I started up the game, and it put me right here. And I just thought I'd like to share this with you all. Look at how cool our city looks. First of all, look how cool our city looks. And secondly, the building in our capital, the building that's marked the town center of our capital, has turned into a giant rook for some reason. Man, this game looks cool. Anyway, let's do this thing. Let's do this thing that I always do. So this is the state of play right now. Red has been reduced to a single region in the sea, which should make it pretty easy for us to take that region away from them. And then obviously blue's on their way out too, and I think what we're going to have is an uneasy alliance of these three big empires. Which, I mean, sort of suits us just fine, given that we're allied with two of them and friends with one other. Now, the question is, how long before we can take Bottleneck? It's probably the case that his soldiers are vastly superior to mine, but he's not going to be able to generate too many of them. I think we probably... How close are we to the third era? Yeah, I think we probably wait until we can get on uncommon alloy weapons, and then we'll go for him. Because we have our Empire happiness sort of in check. Maybe this isn't a good idea. Well, we'll figure it out. We do still have a central market building. Apparently doesn't have a central market yet, does it? Did I buy it? Yeah, looks like I must have bought it. You have to forgive me, it's been a couple of days. I suppose for now there's not really a strong reason for me to bring the army back to the mainland. If we can represent full garrisons, I think the AI will be a little bit less likely to mess with us. I do not think that they can tell what's in the garrisons. I'm pretty sure you have to have a spy in the city to be able to tell that. Also, obviously, I did, in fact, manage to fix the error with the save games. Didn't turn out to be that difficult at all. So we get to have our settlers search the ruin, and indeed, the savage war ghouls of the profaners have been set loose from their crypt. And the red guys have engaged them in battle immediately. Or no, sorry. They're engaging us in battle, and purple's troops are locked by that battle. Yep, and we'll just be running back to friendly territory, post-haste. There's a pretty good chance the purple's just going to kill them for us on the next turn. I would say better than good. So there's no particular reason to bring these guys back to the mainland, but they do have to be in friendly territory to retrofit once it's time to retrofit them. And I guess there's no reason for that not to be the mainland either. Oh, Red, look out. Your days are numbered. You know, in the dozens, but still, it's a number. So I think our long-term goal right now has to just be catching up on science. If we want to try to win a quest victory, we have to catch up as far as our strategic resources go. So Purple's completing some of our... This time we just have to build the ward in each of our cities. We don't have to do the tower as well. That's interesting. Well, let's buy the ward blessing. We certainly have enough pearls. I'm basically okay with this. Minus 30% defense on cavalry units. That says cavalry, but we know what they mean. Obviously is a bummer for us, but actually, no, you know what? That's right. It's not just this winter. It adds it to the effects of every winter. So actually, we need that not to happen. It would make attacking in winters very difficult. We will expend some pearls to pray for this instead. This isn't awesome. It's pretty good for defenders, which means it's not awesome for us, because we'd like to be able to take some cities at some point, but I think it's a far less dangerous option. than having all of our cavalry units reduced in effectiveness while everybody else's infantry units, which they're more likely to have, go up in effectiveness. I think we'll wait by the north coast, by Dasraj, both because that's the city that doesn't yet have a full garrison, and also because it's closest to Gadnak, which is where they will be going in the not-too-distant future. Probably with a force supplemented by a couple of monks. The monks are fine units. Honestly, I don't think the Seekers are terrible. They're not numerically that different from the roving clans dervishes, which, again, are fine units. It's just they have a little bit of a damage deficiency is all. I guess you just get up here, sit on the city tile, and wait. As satisfying as that is. And our settler can just hop into the garrison over here. I didn't actually move him all the way adjacent to the city for some reason. Yeah, we're playing economic and scientific catch-up, basically. Our economy is in a much better place than it has been for most of the game, though. Okay, so I see both resources already. Grass silk. Okay, lots and lots of... Parandy really coming through. Out of curiosity, Gadnak has 1. Is this Wings of Ruin? It is Wings of Ruin. Okay. I don't care about that. So actually, Gadnak, not that great. Parandy, pair of adamantine deposits. It's pretty cool. Alright, so the first thing we need to research is gathering tech, followed immediately by uncommon alloys. You know what? We're doing that. Minus expansion disapproval is very powerful. We really, really need more sources of approval. Alright, how much do heroes cost at this point in the game? Between 8 and 900. Obviously, we need to have governors in our cities. That's going to be the focus of our dust for the foreseeable future. We have to acquire quite a number of governors. Well, what happened? Where did my, Oh, gold ended, right? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Sudden drop in income had me a little worried. So blue and pink both have large armies, and they're both marching their armies around next to my territory a lot, it seems like. It's got me a little worried. Oh, right, I'm supposed to be building a ward of Auriga. You know, I'm a little bit not in a hurry because I know that we're going to hit the last quest and stall out for a long time. But I suppose it does make sense to get the rewards as early as possible. Alright, so Drugador definitely needs to refocus. Build me a ward. Wow, that's gonna take a little while. Let's start up. How much does a ward cost? 30 pearls. Okay, so we don't have enough pearls to build them in all the cities in the Empire anyway. Also, this city is still in rebellion. Okay, you guys are content. It will only take you 48 turns. How much does it cost to buy one of these out? 16, 18? Well, what if we repurpose all these guys? Ugh, 15 turns. These are not the best cities that I've ever had. Yeah, 20 turns of dramatically reduced gold income. Doesn't feel great, but these things do have to get done. Also, we can afford a hero. So, let's see what's available to us. Way Resigo is a classic. Food 2, Industry 3 is really powerful. I think it's hard to imagine anybody out here being as good as that. Although I don't think that we want to put Weirasigo in our capital. Our capital is probably going to be like a science or dust boost hero. Weirasigo is very powerful for getting a city that's having some trouble to grow and expand. So, on top, maybe? Or Dasraj? Let me zoom in a little bit and have a look at the land around the cities. I think it's actually on top. Okay. Also, it doesn't hurt to have a hero on the front line of the Empire, right? Also, let's remember that we have this. It's fairly powerful. He has skill points unspent. Just gonna go up his tree, get even more industry for the city. This city being sort of a jutting forward, like this is the city that people are obviously going to want to attack if they attack us. It's a good idea for that city to have a reasonably powerful governor. I am so excited about Bread and Circuses getting finished, though. This is going to be a real blessing. What exactly is... What's the immediate reward here? 20 Quicksilver, so that's something I have absolutely no use for. Oh, you know what? I'm being silly. This Sea-Wing... Sea-Wing? Skywing. Skyfin should definitely be doing this. We do not need the extra gold coming in as badly as we're going to need these. Although I do have a couple of gold extractors that still need to get built, obviously. One thing at a time. Also, we have a winter and 8 turns, which will hopefully give us enough pearls to finish building all of these wards. This is only 3. I mean, I'm going to want them out to see... Nope. This. I'm going to want them out to sea searching anyway when winter hits. May as well go get it. And something popped up there right at the end of the... Alright, so we're at 46 approval right now. Bread and Circuses is going to finish here in a second, and we'll see what it jumps up to. Not all of our approval is expansion disapproval. So... Alright, let's see. 56. Okay. If we push above 60%, we get to happy, which actually gives a bonus. So we're getting there. We just need a little bit more happiness. Honestly, the finishing of this central market might actually do it. Man, it's taken a lot of turns for each research, though. We just got to keep the population growing so that we can convert them into a science machine at a moment's notice. Pyrandy seems to be growing quite quickly. 5 citizens already, plus the 3 Delver villages, is really nice. Alright, how many is this over here? It's another 2, another 3. I mean, I know we picked up all of the impressive pearl stacks already. So in 6 turns we have smelting stations. We're not actually going to be able to build smelting stations anywhere right away. And I certainly don't have the dust to buy out their completion early. Hopefully the Skyfin's harvest will be enough to keep our army going for a little while. Or enough to start our army going. So we do need to deal with red eventually. I mean, we don't need to. It will be easy and valuable for us to deal with red in the near future. So we could do... No, we are 5 influence points short of being able to do that. That's frustrating. We certainly can't afford to boot the approval, though. Not right now. On the whole, I have to say I'm pretty pleased with this empire. We just have to actually convert all this stuff into victory. Hopefully, 2.5 per turn is a pretty good start. I'm not sure exactly how the formula is calculated from the level of the Skyfan. It might be +1 at level 1 and then plus 0.5 for every level afterward. That seems possible. And of course he gets XP for aspirating, so he will slowly level up. AI turns are starting to get longer and longer to calculate here, which means that something fancy is going on. Although part of it could be the fact that we have a couple of allies, when that is often not the case. And the fact that we have a couple of allies means that we can see a lot more of the map than we usually can. Okay, Pink is spying on us, decreasing the population in our cities, which is a real problem. We have to get our approval ratings up. 0% security is just kind of letting him run amok. Part of that is the approval rating of the city, and part of it is just needing security tech. But unfortunately, there's no way to tell a neighbor to cut it out with the spies in this game. You just kind of have to either endure it or kill them. The spies, I mean, but obviously you could kill the player too. It'll get the job done. If we manage to take Red down, we'll be able to do a little bit of a looting of their library, which could help to catch us up in science. In fact, it's even possible that I could declare war on them and then wrangle some kind of immediate peace settlement out of them that leads to them giving me a bunch of technologies. Alright, well the wards are coming along, as always, slowly. We're gonna have to do something about our dust income when winter comes. It's gonna be very low. We're gonna have to divert a lot of people off of industry and back onto dust. And unfortunately, that means even more time spent building these wards. Yeah, the game is having some trouble pushing its turns through. It's got to be related to all of these armies that I have vision of. Alright, green is tearing it up. I'm actually pretty shocked that this just happened, considering that one player has been pretty much removed from the game and another player has, also been pretty much removed from the game. This city can't be long-lived. Hey, look at that. It's turn 103 and we finally have a public library in each of our cities. I think. Honestly, Dusraj, yeah, okay, you do. It was entirely possible that I had never managed to finish it and then had just needed to build the central market. So at 58 dust per turn, yeah, we're looking at a depressingly long time before we have enough governors for all of our cities. I'd like to turn it up a little bit, but we really do want to get these wards built because the earlier we can reap the faction quest rewards, the better off they'll make us. The more powerful they will be relative to the other things that we're getting. Alright, Trigador unfortunately has very little of interest to build. Oh, actually, I don't need all of these. Let's put you two back in the garrison. Okay. And with that, I'm going to build a couple of monks. I'm going to build them... Actually, hold on. Let's update the monk design before I build these guys. I can't give them proper weapons yet, but we can at least have them not going into battle basically naked. Alright, we're taking this for Sharp Sense 3, mostly. Although I guess, who are we? We're neighbored with Draken and Roving clans. The Roving clans could legitimately have archers. They have a horseback archer, but the odds of us having to fight a Roving clans war are basically 0. I'm certainly not going to start it. And the Draken do not really have ranged attacks. I guess the Ancient has a ranged attack. Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw the Trinket on. The Ancient's a powerful enough unit already. Alright, smelting stations. So the capital can afford to take some time out and build a station right away. I think it may be the only city that really can. It's also the only city that could finish one in a reasonable amount of time. No. Keep your mercenary army away from my pearls. Alright, Skyfin can pick up a couple of pearls and still have the movement to make it back to the resource to continue harvesting. Thanks to the magic of Dark Form. And of course the AI is tearing it up on the legendaries, which is to be expected. Alright, it looks like the majority of the really great pearl spawns have been in the North Sea the last couple of winters, but it looks like they actually went down pretty weak this time. There may just be like broadly worse pearl spawns across the world. This space has 6. Yeah. Looks like it may just be a light pearl season. Oh, also... Okay, yes, we got the winter effect that we prayed for, which is nice. It sucks to spend pearls praying and then have it not work out because somebody else counter-prayed you. So yeah, unfortunately a lot of this episode is us playing catch-up. Except, of course... Once we get our uncommon alloys, we'll try to make something happen. The city's expanding quite quickly. Would I just keep it? They may have built it in the best place, honestly. It's not like the land around there was just aching to be exploited. There's a lot of crummy stuff out there. Oh, actually, are you guys still in defense mode? You are. I do actually want you to ask for orders when you don't have orders. Also, it looks like Mr. Brightslash just leveled up. Which is cool, because we're getting into the part of his skill tree that's actually really interesting. So that was Zoyos, and then Resigo also. Alright. I think we've held off for as long as we can hold off. We gotta do something about the dust situation. Okay, that qualifies as doing something. But we were able to wait until we got a couple of wards rather completed, so I think that's going to work out well for us. All right. This is kind of a tricky part of the game, because you're trying to gear up as best you can, and it's hard to judge the AI's performance at these moments. So his Seekers have 79 attack, 44 damage, 81 defense. How much better is that than mine? Not that much, actually. I think when these guys have weapons made of the appropriate metals, they should be past those stats, I would think. Unfortunately, I do not have a good enough memory to keep in my head the kinds of improvement that we're likely to see. Ooh, should I close my borders to purple or to red to prevent him from taking my pearls? Red is trusting because we've been peaceful. We have a common friend. Who is our common friend? Purple. Right. Purple's friends with everybody? Is that true? Yes. Except blue. Purple's at war with blue. Seems like a pretty bad move on blue's part. They're managing to hold on, though. I was really expecting that city to be gone by now. Alright, and now we have a proper smelting station for this metal. So I think I'm going to have the Skyfin... I'm a little torn about whether I want to diversify with the Skyfin or whether I want to focus on one metal as a way of easily equipping the troops. I think I'm going to do the latter. Fly him over to one of these deposits over here. It's important to make sure your troops have the gear that they need to be effective, and the best way to do that is to have a whole lot of one resource. Yeah, wow. Purple's, or pink is really screwing with us. And I just can't afford to solve it yet. And they've got these guys just... You know, these guys are just normal Tedekays. Let's hash this out. Okay, I don't feel bad about that. We managed to drive them off. Yeah, I don't feel bad about that at all. That's actually a pretty good outcome. Alright, I think I should back up now so that I can definitely afford to build the uncommon alloy weapons as soon as they're available. The Skyfin needs to come... I guess it can come over here. Ah, this takes fewer turns. Alright, so we're about to have another ward finished, and we have the pearls for one more. We need to build two more, though. Dasarash and Parandy both still need them, so we just need to pick up a little bit more. What do we have over here? This is a 3-dot. 6 pearls in one tile? That's not bad. Hopefully, all that's causing this slowdown is the large number of units that it potentially has to render. Has to remember actual positions for. I suspect that when we can't see what the AI is doing at all, they maybe use some mathematical shortcuts to short-circuit having to count the AI behaviors. Sort of, you know, step by step, make sure that everything they're doing is strictly legal and obvious. I suppose we just go for increased dust and food. Let's go for this, since I don't really have the resources for this. As much as I would like to go food first. You are not in the tile I wanted you in. There you go. You guys... Okay, so it's time to upgrade the unit designs. These guys are still wearing the original gear. Let us resolve that. So, first of all, let's take a look. Let's compare Tier 1 Adamantium to this spear. 34 attack, 18 damage, 59 attack, 32 damage. Okay. Not really a comparison. Actually, should I maybe bring long spears if I'm planning to fight other Allayi in the near future? Yeah, let's say we do that. That is expensive. I think it's right though. And then we take this for the sharp sense, since we no longer have a shield to give us sharp sense. And we upgrade the monk again. Infantry Slayer versus Cavalry Slayer on him is a little bit more interesting, since he doesn't have access to one-handed weapons. I think we're going to take the Infantry Slayer. It's hard to know exactly what I'll have to fight from red. His support units probably won't be cavalry, and he may or may not have a number of support units greater than the number of his units that need the support. Alright, so we're going to save up dust for this, for the retrofit. You know, winter will end in 2 turns. We know that our income will be back to somewhat normal. Once again, the know the exact length of the seasons perk turning out to be pretty useful. More useful than I would have thought, certainly. Alright, a ward is finished. When Dotsraj finishes making a central market... Might be best to go for a public granary next. You know, this city can probably convert to industry. For long enough to get this stuff done, anyway. Alright, so the end of winter marks the return of our income. Things should be a little bit smoother now. I do appreciate that we are earning influence at increasing rates. This turn, I will actually be able to afford the reduction in the production cost of buildings. This coming empire plan. Borders are temporarily opened is, I think, the one I would like to have happen. So I know I'm a little short on pearls already, but let's go ahead and throw a prayer out for that. The quicker you throw the prayer out, the cheaper it is. So I think he's headed for this stack of pearls. We are going to get there first. We need this stack of 6, and then we need 7 more to have enough pearls to build all of our wards. We definitely don't want to take Red City until after we have all of our wards up, just so I don't have to build another one. And yeah, at 105 dust per turn, we'll be able to retrofit these guys as soon as they're back in friendly waters, and then we'll be able to start hiring heroes again. And Antab is still, despite their very excellent governor, still working real hard on getting some things done. Okay, plus 333. That's a little bit more like it. I was wondering how it was so much lower than during the previous summer. So, what do we do? What do we get for the town that has everything? I suppose that these 2 dredges actually should probably go join the militia here, which means that we can produce 2 more guys. Make these monks. We're going to save retrofitting for these guys first. Alright. If I mash the heck out of the use assigned movement points button, I may get those pearls. Come on. I want to hit this the very earliest moment possible. And I know that the moment I'm like, well, The turn's taking a while. I can do something else real quick. The moment I think something like that, the turn's gonna finish processing. It's not a conspiracy or anything. It's just bad luck. Come on. You know you want to take this order. Oh. You suck. Well, it was worth a shot. So it actually... Man, I do not want to have to wait another season. Man, how fast are his guys? 10.5. That's pretty fast. Yep, and Pink is continuing to spy on me. Oh geez, somebody made Dasraj lose population. I wonder who it could have been. Actually, these guys need to come back to friendly land so that they can be retrofitted. I think I want to research meritocratic promotion next. Either that or maybe make a tech trade that contains meritocratic promotion. You know, I think it's really going to be in our best interest, once the turn flips over, to do a little bit of negotiation with our allies and see if we can't, in fact, get a hold of some tech. I also think that this is going to be a little bit shorter of an episode. I think the plan is to carry us up through the next Empire plan, and I apologize for the shortness of the episode, but real life intrudes on occasion. Okay, so yeah, before we go deciding what to research, let's see what our allies are willing to trade us. Both of them are blood brothers, so with any luck... Man, they do not have a lot of technology. This is my technology that they don't have. Never mind. Here we go. This is kind of what I was expecting. So, do you have meritocratic promotion? You have tier 2. Man. Can I get this? No? That would be real handy. Here it is. Meritocratic promotion. Yeah, that's not so negative. Let's see what he... Man, he'd love some pearls. I also would love some pearls, though. Can we do a tech trade? Prisoners, slaves, and volunteers. You're, really gonna bust my balls on this, huh? Public granary is something he should have already. Alright, I will do that. So, when these two monks finish, I'm going to send them out to join up. And now that means I don't have to go back for it, so I can spend my efforts on stuff that's actually contemporary. The grass silk wouldn't be terrible to get, but our trade income is only like 14 points right now. I want to pick up cargo docks, actually. The cargo dock does give plus 10 influence, or plus 10 approval in the city it's built in. And honestly, that may be good enough. Good enough to justify the research, and good enough to justify actually putting forth the effort to build them. Every city except Antab can make use of it too. So it's actually pretty nice. Alright, let's modernize these guys. Oh, Zoyos probably would like to be able to do stuff too. So first of all, that. Compared to what he has available here, 18 health, 8% attack, 30 health plus 20% attack. Pretty straightforward. 65 attack, 32 damage versus numbers that are a little harder to eyeball. We're at 149 attack, 77 damage. So this is plus 2 damage for minus 29 attack. I don't think that that's a trade worth making. And this gives 14 defense plus 15% health compared to... this gives a damage bonus, though. I'm actually willing to take a little bit of a hit for the damage bonus. Plus 10% damage obviously is like 7 damage, which is pretty good considering. Plus 15% life, plus 20% defense. I think break wall's the right call here. And then, yeah, I should rearmor. And probably... I don't need the other trinket, because I already have... sharp sense from my shield. And I don't think that the vision bonus actually does anything, because there's already units... Oh no, there's not units in this army that have the vision bonus. Those units, the units with that thing are the monks. Well, there will be eventually. So we're still 13 pearls short. Alright, nothing much for it except to go find 13 pearls. 2, 2, also 2, 4, 1, 3. Alright, it's going to be slow going. Especially if Red keeps snaking them out from under us. It looks like his forces have been distracted a little bit. Oh wait. That's 2. That's 2. Huntom's garrison could strike out and grab those real quick. That would be helpful. Fighting a desperate pearl war with Red. These resource wars are all the rage, I hear. Oh, we totally have enough money to buy a new hero. So, Industry Boost 2 is not terrible. Slavery is not great. It's okay in a region that has 3, what do you call it? 3 minor faction villages, but I would say outside of that it's pretty bad. Duke Unwin Weybridge. He can give us mining authority. If I put him in the capital, yeah, I think that makes sense. Unwin Weybridge it is. We have 12 dust remaining. Alright, unfortunately, not everything in the Broken Lord's tree is valuable to us. For example, aquatic dust. But Dust Diviner should be totally fine, and this should be pretty good. Considering that the region already has an adamantine extractor and everything. And man, it is really taking a long time to process these AI turns. So we're basically just waiting on a... I can afford to retrofit 1 monk, right? I will be able to very shortly. Having a bit of a bottleneck on the strategic resource, unfortunately. Turns out extractors are actually not quite as good at extracting materials from Auriga's surface as a Skyfin is. Alright, so we've now got 24 of the 30 pearls necessary to finish building the thing. I think it's Dasraj that doesn't have one yet, though, so after we get the pearls, we're probably still going to need the dust to actually buy it out, because Dasraj does not have the most thriving manufacturing sector, although the constant assassinations are definitely playing a part as well. Constant political assassinations. I say political assassinations because the assassinations are political in nature, not because they seem to be choosing political targets or anything. Pretty much just murdering whoever they can get their hands on. Man. So the game is slowing down because it's rendering all this stuff I could be looking at. I suppose that I should be looking at it. Alright, somebody's constructed one of the legendary buildings. We have finished our cargo docks, and we'll start construction on cargo docks pretty much immediately. In the meantime, Dust Alchemy is strong. The depository is a good building. Transmuter obviously is a powerful thing. We can also pick up one of the science techs. I think this one's pretty good. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so we have enough influence that we can do this, which makes it very cheap for us to buy buildings out. So I think that's the way we want to do that. Alright, this is going to be 2 more pearls in our stockpile, so we need to find 4 more. Probably only 2 more stacks. There's half of it right there. And you guys... I guess go get this. This is a, you know... Going and retrieving these pearls is an actual service that these guys can do. Alright, we're going to hit end turn here and then end the episode. So, we're playing Catchup. We almost have a real army. We might be able to devour red real quick while nobody's paying attention. This is my desperate hope. Come back next time and see if that nonsense is successful. And we'll see you then.